That celebrity whiskey shelf is built like a toll road. Every time a famous name shows up on a bottle, a little extra fee gets baked into the price, and most people never stop to ask what they're actually paying for. In whiskey, the math is simple. Aging costs money, good blending costs time, and honest bottling costs margin. So when a bottle is $80, $90, $100, you should be getting proof, texture, and depth that justify it. But celebrity branding loves one trick: make the story louder than the liquid. Today we're calling out 5 celebrity whiskey brands that, in my assessment, charge more than the whiskey earns. And then I'll show you 3 that actually deserve a spot in your cabinet. And number 1 might be the best $40 you spend all year. Here's the ground rule: this isn't about hating celebrities. And it's not about judging anyone for buying what they like. This is consumer defense. We're looking at price versus proof, transparency versus mystery, and flavor versus marketing. If the bottle is charging you luxury money, the whiskey has to work like luxury. If it doesn't, it belongs on the gift-only list. Number 8. Virginia Black Decadent American Whiskey. Virginia Black is what happens when the bottle grows up faster than the whiskey inside. It's a collaboration tied to Drake and marketed like a luxury accessory. But the liquid is a young blend, often described as a personally selected collection of 2, 3, and 4-year bourbons bottled at 80 proof, or 40% ABV. That's not automatically bad. Young whiskey can be fun, but young and low proof at a premium price is where the value starts to wobble. Then here's the context. Virginia Black launched with a very clear mission: look expensive, feel aspirational, photograph well. And that's fine if the whiskey backs it up. But at 80 proof, you're already losing some of the weight and grip that makes bourbon satisfying. Proof isn't better by itself, but higher proof usually carries more flavor compounds, more texture, more finish. At 80 proof, a whiskey has to be exceptionally well built to avoid tasting thin. Now the price anchor. Depending on your market, Virginia Black commonly sits in the premium gift lane. Think roughly $35 to $50 for a 750 milliliter, sometimes higher depending on availability. At that same money, you can buy bottles with either more proof, more age, or more transparency. Things that show up in the glass, not just on Instagram. In the glass, Virginia Black tends to play the safe hits. Caramel, vanilla, a sweet popcorn note, a little cinnamon, some pepper. The problem is the structure. The nose can be pleasant, but the palate often comes across sweet forward and a bit simple, with the finish tapering off quickly. You get the opening notes, and then it fades before it can build complexity. That's the signature of whiskey designed to be easy, not memorable. And here's what Virginia Black hopes you never notice: the luxury is mostly packaging and positioning. If you love it, drink it. But as a value purchase, you're paying for the aesthetic, not a level of whiskey that outperforms its price bracket. Number 7. Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey. Proper Number 12 is the safest whiskey on this list, and that's exactly the problem. It's a blended Irish whiskey bottled at 40% ABV. Any built to be smooth, approachable, and easy for new drinkers. There's nothing wrong with approachable. The issue is what you sacrifice when a brand is built on mass appeal first. The backstory is straightforward. It launched with huge celebrity visibility, and it grew fast enough that Proximo Spirits acquired a majority stake in the brand in a deal reported around $600 million. Again, business success is not a flavor note, but when the brand becomes that big, the pressure is always to keep the profile consistent and wide-friendly. That often means dialing down the edges that make whiskey interesting. Price anchor time. Proper Number 12 is commonly priced in the $25 to $35 range, sometimes less on promotion. That sounds fair, until you compare the category. Irish whiskey is packed with options in that range that deliver more character, odds of more malt influence, or more depth. The question isn't, is it drinkable? It's, is it the best use of your money? On the nose, you'll usually find light honey, vanilla, a touch of grain sweetness, a mild oak note. On the palate, it's smooth, simple, a bit sweet, with a gentle spice that doesn't stick around. The finish is the giveaway. It disappears before you can really evaluate it. It's like the whiskey is trying to leave the room quietly so nobody asks it any hard questions. This is whiskey designed by committee to offend no one. For my palate, it's fine in a mixed drink, fine at a party, fine as a first step. But if you're buying it neat and expecting celebrity premium, you're paying for attention, not intensity. Proper number. A 12 doesn't rip you off in the sense that it's undrinkable. It's just outclassed by what the same shelf space offers. Number 6. Sweetens Cove Bourbon. Sweetens Cove is a perfect example of how a story can inflate a price faster than the whiskey can keep up. The brand is tied to a Tennessee golf course tradition. apparently a first tee shot of whiskey for newcomers, and the ownership group has included big sports and broadcasting names like Peyton Manning, Andy Roddick, and Jim Nantz. It's a great narrative. It's also a narrative that can justify premium pricing even when the bottle is, at its core, sourced and blended. Let's talk reality. Sweetens Cove releases have been discussed as sourced from Tennessee, including associations with Cascade Hollow, the home of George Dickel. Sourced whiskey can be excellent. So some of the best bottles on earth are sourced and blended. The key is whether the brand is transparent and whether the price matches what's inside. Price anchor. Sweetens Cove often lives in a premium lane, commonly $150 to $200 depending on the release and the seller, and it can go higher. That price range is not casual. That price range is competing with bottles that bring age statements, barrel strength, and serious depth. If you're charging that kind of money, you're asking the consumer to treat this like a trophy pour. In the glass, Sweetens Cove can be flavorful. Oak, caramel, baking spice, sometimes a distinctive mineral or earthy note you'll see people associate with Tennessee profiles. When it hits, it can be a good pour. The problem is the value proposition and consistency. At that price, pretty good isn't good enough. You want that moment where you take a sip and instantly understand where your money went. And too often, the experience feels like it's leaning on rarity and branding more than a slam dunk profile. Here's the thing. When a brand is built around a lifestyle, golf tradition, celebrity ownership, limited allocations, the consumer ends up funding the scarcity story. You're paying for the invitation to the club, not necessarily for whiskey that beats its competition. If you love the story and the bottle, enjoy it. But as a consumer advocate, I can't call it strong value at the price most people encounter. Number 5. Gentleman's Cut Bourbon. Gentleman's Cut is a masterclass in premium positioning. It's tied to Stephen Curry, it's presented like a luxury bottle, and it's priced like it expects you to buy it with your eyes first. But according to retailer descriptions and reporting, the flagship bourbon has been described as a Kentucky straight bourbon aged around 5 to 7 years and bottled at 90 proof. Those are respectable baseline specs. The problem is what happens when respectable gets priced like elite. Let's anchor the price. In many markets, the base Gentleman's Cut bourbon sits around $75 to $85, sometimes higher. That price point is brutal. That's where you can start getting into bottles with higher proof, stronger reputations, or more distinctive production choices. So the whiskey can't just be smooth, it has to be compelling. On the nose, you'll usually get the expected Kentucky bourbon set: caramel, vanilla, oak, maybe some baking spice, and a little sweet corn. On the palate, it leans polished, easy texture, controlled spice. A sweetness that stays friendly, and if that's what you want, it can be enjoyable. But the value issue shows up the moment you compare it side by side with bottles in the same price lane that bring more intensity or more uniqueness. Here's what Gentleman's Cut hopes you never do: a blind taste against a $35 to $55 bottle with higher proof. Because the minute you remove the bottle's luxury cues, you start asking, is this actually twice as good? And most of the time, for most palates, the answer is no. And I'll be fair, there are also higher-end special releases under the label. Limited editions, older barrels, big price tags that are clearly designed as collector's items. But if you're just talking about the main bottle most people can actually buy, it's priced like a status symbol. In my assessment, you're paying for the name, the packaging, and the vibe. The whiskey is fine. The value is the problem. Number 4. Sir Davis American Whiskey. Sir Davis is the newest kind of celebrity whiskey. Luxury partnership, high-profile launch, and the kind of brand heat that makes people buy first and ask questions later. It's founded by Beyonce Knowles Carter and crafted in partnership with Moet Hennessy, and it's developed with Dr. Bill Lumsden, a major name in whiskey. The liquid itself is positioned as an American whiskey built on a 51% rye and 49% malted barley mash bill, finished in Pedro Jimenez sherry casks and bottled at 44% ABV or 88 proof. That's a real spec sheet. The issue is the price and what the category offers for the same money. Let's set the price anchor. Sir Davis has been listed with a suggested retail price around $89. And in real markets, you'll often see it in roughly the $79 to $99 lane, depending on retailer and availability. That is luxury money for a no-age statement American whiskey. Again, no age statement doesn't automatically mean young. But at this price, consumers deserve clarity, or they deserve undeniable performance in the glass. The marketing leans hard into legacy and prestige, family story, heritage framing, luxury distribution, cocktail kits. That's not a crime. But this is exactly where consumers get tricked into thinking the story is the product. The product is the whiskey. In the glass, the concept can be appealing. rye spice married to malt softness plus a sweet sherry finish. Done well, that can be layered: fruit, baking spice, cocoa, toasted nuts, a little winey richness on the back end. The problem is that finishing can also be used as a cosmetic filter. A sherry finish can add sweetness and polish that makes a whiskey feel premium without necessarily adding depth from age or barrel development. So here's my issue. At $80 to $90, this bottle is competing with serious whiskey. Whiskey with track records, whiskey with age statements, whiskey bottled at proofs that carry more presence. Sir Davis might be enjoyable. For some palates, it will be. But as a value proposition, you're being asked to pay luxury pricing for a luxury narrative in a category where the liquid has to do the heavy lifting. If you buy it for the profile you like. Not because the label makes it feel like an automatic upgrade. Now for the bottles that actually respect your money. These are the celebrity-involved releases where the star power steps back and the whiskey leads. Number 3. Wild Turkey Long Branch. Long Branch works because it doesn't pretend the celebrity-invented bourbon. It's a collaboration between Matthew McConaughey and Wild Turkey's master distiller Eddie Russell, and it's built on Wild Turkey bourbon DNA first. The brand itself even describes the key twist clearly. The bourbon is refined using both oak and Texas mesquite charcoals, nodding to McConaughey's Kentucky and Texas roots. And it's bottled at 86 proof or 43% ABV, enough to carry flavor without trying to punish beginners. Price revelation. In most markets, Long Branch sits around $35 to $45. That's the sweet spot. It's priced like a drinker, not like a collectible. And that matters because value whiskey is about repeat purchases, not one-time flexes. In the glass, Long Branch tends to deliver the warm Wild Turkey core, vanilla, caramel, toasted oak, then it adds a gentle, smoky, herbal edge from the charcoal refinement. It's not heavy peat smoke, it's more like a hint of campfire on the horizon. The palate has more body than the 80-proof celebrity bottles, and the finish actually hangs around long enough to feel like whiskey, not flavored water. And here's the consumer protection angle. Long Branch is honest about what it is. It isn't hiding behind fake scarcity. It isn't charging you $90 for a NAS experiment. It's a small batch product from a legacy distillery with a clear method. If you're buying for cocktails, it holds up. If you're sipping neat, it's smooth but still interesting. That's the difference between celebrity marketing slapped on whiskey and celebrity collaboration integrated into whiskey. Is it the most complex bourbon on earth? No. But for $35 to $45, it doesn't have to be. It has to be fair. It has to be consistent. And it has to deliver a profile you can actually taste without needing the story as a crutch. Long Branch, in my assessment, clears that bar. Number 2. Lagavulin Offerman Edition. The Offerman Edition is the blueprint for how to do a celebrity tie-in without insulting the consumer. Nick Offerman didn't start a fake distillery. He partnered with Lagavulin, an Islay powerhouse with a distinct house style. And the important part is right on the label. It's an 11-year-old single malt, typically bottled at 46% ABV. An age statement and a respectable bottling strength are two of the fastest ways to tell a consumer we're not just selling you a face. Price anchor. Depending on the market and the particular year's Offerman release, you'll often see it in the $80 to $110 range. That's not cheap. But this is where price starts to make sense because you're buying actual aged single malt from a major distillery, not mystery liquid wrapped in a celebrity story. On the nose, Lagavulin brings that classic Islay signature: peat smoke, seaside brine, iodine, and a deep sweetness underneath. Think dark honey, dried fruit, and charred oak. On the palate, you get a thick, oily texture, smoke that feels structured rather than aggressive, and layers of pepper, toasted nuts, and sometimes a cask-driven twist, depending on the addition. The finish is long and authoritative. It doesn't vanish. It lingers, evolves, and leaves you with a reason to take another sip. Why does this matter for value? Because you can taste where the money went. Age shows up as integration. Higher ABV shows up as mouthfeel. Distillery character shows up as identity. There's no need to hype it as luxury because the profile already carries weight. And let's be honest, plenty of celebrity whiskeys are aimed at people who don't know what they're buying. The Offerman Edition is aimed at people who do. It's a real whiskey first with a fun partnership layered on top. That's how you respect the consumer. Number 1. Traveler Whiskey, blend number 40. Traveler is the celebrity whiskey the industry probably didn't expect to work this well because it behaves like a normal bottle. It's a collaboration between Chris Stapleton and Buffalo Trace's Harlan Wheatley under the Sazerac umbrella, and the brand says the final blend number 40 was selected after sampling more than 50 custom blends. The key spec is right where it should be, bottled at 90 proof or 45% ABV, and the suggested retail price has been reported at $39.99. That combination, good proof, reasonable price, serious producer, is exactly how you avoid the celebrity tax. This is not positioned as a trophy, it's positioned as a shelf staple, and that's the whole win. Because when a bottle is meant to be opened and replaced, it has to deliver on repeat. In the glass, Traveler leans sweet and approachable, but it isn't hollow. Expect toffee and caramel up front, vanilla, toasted oak, a little fruitiness, and a mild spice that keeps it from becoming candy. The mouthfeel has some creaminess for the proof, and the finish is medium, longer than the 80 proof luxury bottles, shorter than barrel-strength monsters, and that's fine because this is built for broad use. Neat? It works. On ice? It holds together. In cocktails, it doesn't disappear. Here's the insider detail that matters. Buffalo Trace has no shortage of demand. They don't need a celebrity to move product. So when they put their name and their master distiller's involvement on a blend, the incentive is to protect reputation. Traveler still keeps some mystery. Exact components aren't fully disclosed, but the proof and price are honest enough that you're not being asked to fund a marketing fantasy. And that's why this is number one. It's the rare celebrity whiskey where the value is built into the fundamentals. A respected producer, a fair MSRP, and a proof that actually carries flavor. If you've been burned by celebrity bottles before, this is a safe way back into the category without paying a hype surcharge. If you've bought one of the bad value bottles on this list, don't beat yourself up. The entire point of celebrity whiskey is to make you feel like you're buying an upgrade when you're often just buying a label. But now, you've got a better filter. Look at the proof. Look for real age statements, look for transparency, and always ask the one question marketing hates. What else could I buy for the same money? Because the second you start shopping with comparisons instead of vibes, the hype tax stops working. Spend on liquid, not on lore. And if you want a celebrity name on your shelf, make sure it's attached to a bottle that actually earns it.